Another nice day today, but enjoy it while it lasts. I'm tracking showers and storms that could affect your Easter Sunday plans.
Fuel costs rising. The U.S. Energy Secretary speaks in North Carolina today about the war in Iran's effect on gas prices. WRAL is asking the tough questions about your pain at the pump. Officers cited. 2 Raleigh police officers face charges after a crash on New Bern Avenue. We're learning about the violations they face and the message from the department. We have another warm afternoon on tap here, and that warmth will last through most of the Easter weekend. Right now, you're taking a live look over Carolina Beach, and doesn't that look nice? I'm Laura Levine. Good afternoon. Meteorologist Grant Skinner joins us now here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And Grant, by Easter Sunday, we could see a good chance of showers and storms.
Yeah, watching our next weather maker, it's well to the north and west right now. So for now, we're very quiet. You can see over North Carolina, South Carolina, even down towards Georgia, maybe a couple of showers offshore, but otherwise very quiet. The majority of the showers are back towards parts of the Midwest, all the way up through areas like Minnesota, Wisconsin. You can see snow in a mix there. We won't get any of that. But you can see well to our north and west, our next front. It's right here. That's going to drive that very cold air in. That's what's going to bring the chance for showers and some storms by Sunday. Now, by very cold, I mean much cooler than what we've seen over the past handful of days. Not going to see 80s, more like 60s the next week, and we'll talk more about what will hit here in a bit. But forecast rainfall the next 5 days, about 1/4 of an inch. So not a significant amount of rain, but a little bit to help with the drought. We still need a lot of rain to help with our drought conditions. Here's a view from Lewisburg. This afternoon, lots of blue sky, tons of sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. 78 already in Raleigh, 75 in Fayetteville, 75 Roxborough. We're at 77 in Rocky Mount and in South Hill. This afternoon, we'll hit the mid-80s across the region. So a very warm day on tap. Lots of sunshine. 85 Roxborough, 83 Southern Pines, 85 in Raleigh and in Benson, 86 Fayetteville, 84 in Rocky Mount. And this evening, if you're heading to the Canes game, by 6 o'clock, we'll be in the low 80s. By 10 o'clock, at around 70 degrees, we'll have mostly clear skies. Mild overnight, then more warmth the next couple of days. I'll let you know how warm we'll get, and then when to expect that next best chance for showers and storms on Easter Sunday. That's coming up in just a bit.
Okay, Grant, thank you. The U.S. Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, is speaking in North Carolina today. So let's get right out to Sean Gallagher with a look at what he's going to be focused on today. Sean.
Yeah, Laura, he just toured the Nash County Community College here, looking at a number of different programs that they run here that he feels are valuable towards growing the electrical power of America along the way. But I'm sure one thing that's on everybody's mind this morning is the price they're paying at the pump, and that is a question that we brought to him. But take a look. Energy Secretary Chris Wright was touring Nash County College earlier today, and again, comes less than 24 hours after the president was speaking about the conflict in Iran, which immediately hit the stock market and the gas stations, one going down with the other going up. Gas now averaging nearly $4 a gallon here in North Carolina. So I asked Secretary Wright about how long we should expect the prices at the pump to remain where they are and what's being done to make things more cost efficient for families.
I'm very proud of the activity. I think the conflict's over in 2 or 3 weeks. And at that time, soon after the time the conflict ends, you'll see energy prices start to come back down. And if you look further ahead, ultimately energy prices will go lower than they ever could have before, because the biggest threat to one of the world's largest oil and gas producing regions in the world will be defanged.
And this is just the first half of the Secretary's visit to North Carolina, where he was looking here at Nash Community College. He'll be in Cary later today at Hitachi Energies to talk about a potential expansion that's going on there. We'll be there for more questions for him about what is being done to make gas prices better for the community. But for now, in Nash County, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
And here's just a reminder for you. You can use the fuel tracker on the WRAL News app to find the lowest cost of gas wherever you go. Just search fuel. A Wake County judge ordered bond for a Raleigh woman charged with killing a man who had been ordered to stay away from her. Sandra Hunter is charged with murdering Arthur Upchurch last month. Police found Upchurch dead in a car at an apartment complex on Bassett Trail. That's near New Bern Avenue. At her first court appearance and hearing, the judge denied bond. However, a judge ordered a $50,000 secure bond yesterday. WRAL is now pushing for answers on a crash involving Raleigh police that sent 4 people to the hospital. We have learned the officers involved were charged with running a stop sign and not wearing seatbelts. So WRAL's Bailey Stamos joins us live now from where this happened. Bailey.
Yeah, I'm standing right at that intersection where that crash happened on Tuesday night, and you can see that site is not hard to spot. You can see police stations. This worker come out and remove some of that debris. Now, this comes after we brought residents' concerns about the mess left behind to a spokesperson. It's unclear if that cleanup crew is working with the city on this. Now, just some background on this crash that we've been following. A 17-year-old is facing multiple charges involving this crash. Raleigh police say that teen failed to pull over for a traffic stop just down the road from here, but officers say this crash was not the result of a pursuit. So we followed up with questions like how fast were the officers going at the time of this crash? We're asking for the protocols relating to how RPD conducts traffic stops when the driver does not pull over, and if lights and sirens are required to be on during a situation like this. Now, we were told an ongoing investigation is still going on and they're no longer answering our questions. That's RPD. But we did follow up today and we're requesting a one-on-one with the chief of police on this. We'll keep you updated on what we hear back today. Bailey Stamos, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Bailey, thank you. A tractor-trailer crash blocked lanes on I-85 South near 15501 in Durham County this morning. Sky 5 video shows here that truck stretched across the lanes. It was carrying bags of cement. The truck has been towed away and crews have cleaned up that mess.
I'm Kirsten Clark in the WRAL Live Center. The Knightdale Police Department is asking for your help in finding this woman. This is 26-year-old Tatiana Admin. Police say that she was picked up by her friend Melita Parker from Wake Med Raleigh and was taken to the Knightdale Library on Steeple Square Court, and she has not been seen since. Again, she's 26 years old. She has brown hair, brown eyes. She's about 5'2", 140 pounds, and she was last seen wearing a black shirt and black sweatpants. If you know anything about Tatiana Admin's whereabouts, please contact the Knightdale Police Department immediately.
We certainly hope that she's found safe. Thank you, Kirsten. 18 months after Hurricane Helene devastated western North Carolina, the state has rebuilt 30 homes. Work is in progress on 140 more. Is that good news or bad news? Well, it depends on who you ask. This morning, 2 of Governor Josh Stein's top Helene advisors testified at the state legislature. They said that they're proud of the pace of recovery so far. No other state after any recent storm has started rebuilding homes so quickly. But after North Carolina took so long to rebuild after Hurricanes Florence and Matthew nearly a decade ago, lawmakers are cautious. They want to see even more urgency. The city of Coral Springs, Florida, is mourning the loss of a local official who police say was the victim of domestic violence. Vice Mayor Nancy Mateer Brown was found dead at her home yesterday. She was the first Black and first Haitian American woman to serve as commissioner in Coral Springs. She was also an environmental scientist with degrees from Johns Hopkins and Florida A&M. Her husband, Stephen, is charged with premeditated murder and tampering with evidence.
No words that can truly capture the depth of this loss or the pain this organization and community are now dealing with as a result of this senseless tragedy.
And back in December, Mateer Bowen's 26-year-old brother died by suicide after a years-long battle with schizophrenia. He was a survivor, in fact, of the 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. So much sadness for that family. Seattle police say a man charged with trying to push a passenger in front of a light rail train lived at a mental health facility about a mile away from the station. Surveillance video here from the train station show the man in black peering around the corner. As the train pulls into the station, he tries to shove a passenger into the train's path. The victim saved himself from falling, but the video shows the suspect trying again before running. The suspect is charged with second-degree attempted murder. Human trials are underway on what could turn out to be a vaccine against fentanyl. Mike Emanuel takes a look at the prospects for a major breakthrough.
It's a lethal but silent killer.
Human trials are underway on a promising new vaccine that could prevent deadly fentanyl overdoses. 8 patients are being dosed this week in the Netherlands, where it is being administered in a controlled setting. It works like a flu shot by neutralizing the fentanyl and stopping it.
In animals, we've seen a 98% blockade, up to a 98% blockade of fentanyl from reaching the brain.
The goal is one oral dose that will provide up to 12 months of protection. Andrea Thomas lost her daughter Ashley to a pill laced with fentanyl and says a vaccine is an important part of the fight.
We need prevention, education, enforcement, treatment, and innovation all working together. And this vaccine really gives us hope. If we can just save one life, that matters so much.
Fentanyl is the leading killer of Americans age 18 to 45. Experts say the synthetic opioid is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine.
And that was Mike Emanuel reporting. The drug manufacturer says, unlike Narcan, this vaccine can be given well in advance, preventative rather than reactive in an emergency. Once approved, the company intends to really prioritize first responders and the military who are more at risk. A mutated version of COVID-19 appears to be mostly infecting children now. COVID's pattern until now has been to primarily infect adults and older adults in particular. Scientists say the new BA protecting your packages and your home. If you're in the market for a new home doorbell camera, listen up. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shares what you need to be looking out for right now.
Consumer Reports reviewed dozens of doorbell cameras looking at video quality, data security, and ease of use. Here's what they found.
Among the top-rated options, brands like Arlo, UFi, TP-Link, and Wise. Many offer high-definition video, night vision, and two-way audio.
Hello, Matthew.
So you can see and speak with visitors from your phone. One standout, the Arlo video doorbell. It earned top marks for security and speed, while UFi models impressed with strong performance and even local video storage without a subscription. But you may notice a familiar name missing. Ring. Consumer Reports says none of its models made the very top of this year's list, though they're still considered solid options. Consumer Reports says because these devices collect video and audio from your home, it's important to consider privacy and security before you buy.
And speaking of security and privacy, coming up tonight on WRAL News at 6, I'm going to tell you exactly where your video goes once it's recorded and how easily police can access it. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, listen to this. Several power strips sold on Amazon are under a recall now because they could pose a fire risk. The recall involves 6, 10, and 12-foot power strips sold between April 2024 to January of this year by Middle Way Electronics. The affected units were produced in China and do not contain supplementary overcurrent protection. This can cause a fire if the power strips are overloaded. Middle Way Electronics has received 2 reports of the power strips sparking and melting, but no fires or injuries have been reported. Your favorite Hershey's and Reese's chocolates will soon taste a little different. Starting next year, a small portion of the products will be made using the classic milk and dark chocolate recipes. Some of the impacted products include Reese's mini cups and shapes. However, there will be no changes to the Hershey chocolate bars and Reese's peanut butter cups because they are already made with that chocolate. The changes will take effect next year. They also have plans to remove artificial colors from all products by the end of next year. Control of Congress in question. A new Elon poll is giving us a glimpse into the race for the state's open U.S. Senate seat. Respondents weigh in on Roy Cooper and Michael Whatley. And celebrating 250 years of independence, how U.S. citizens can save on visits to state parks across the country. And here are the winning lottery numbers. Good luck. We'll be back after the break.
Now, Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking at 12:30, reaction is trickling into the WRAL newsroom on the state Supreme Court's decision to throw the Leandro plan. The multi-billion-dollar plan was conceived to improve North Carolina's public schools. So let's get right over to WRAL's Kirsten Clark in the Live Center. And Kirsten, right now we're hearing from State House Speaker Destin Hall.
That we are, Laura. I want to take you right to this statement from House Speaker and Republican Destin Hall that says, quote, today's decision rightly recognizes the constitutional role of the North Carolina General Assembly since the state constitution entrusts sole appropriations authority to the legislature. House Republicans remain committed to investing in public education, including through our budget proposal to raise starting teacher pay to $50,000 and provide 8.7% average raises to our public school teachers. We're reaching out to lawmakers across the aisle to get reaction to this major ruling today. Be sure to stay tuned to WRAL on all of our platforms for our full coverage of this ruling.
Kirsten, thank you. Meanwhile, one of North Carolina's hottest political races is now seeing a shift. Nationally, voter support for Republican leaders is softening, and WRAL's Megan Cloherty is here in studio. Megan, two new polls are reflecting that shift in the North Carolina race for U.S. Senate.
They are, Laura, new polls giving us an early glimpse into the race for North Carolina's open U.S. Senate seat vacated by Senator Thom Tillis. And we reached out for reaction from both candidates shortly before airing, so we haven't heard back quite yet. But the Elon University poll out this morning shows Democrat Roy Cooper with a broad head start over Republican Michael Whatley 7 months from Election Day. Beyond the national shift away from the Republican Party that you mentioned, many voters recognize former Governor Cooper's name over Michael Whatley's. Whatley ran the state Republican committee before the president brought him to Washington to run the RNC's national efforts. Now, the Elon poll shows that 48% of respondents viewed Democrat Roy Cooper favorably, 34% unfavorably. Meanwhile, 24% said they viewed Whatley favorably and 34% unfavorably. So you can see that difference there. The poll also shows that Cooper has a stronger name recognition. As we mentioned, 64% say they know little or nothing about Michael Whatley, while just 27% say the same about Cooper. Now, the results back up a recent Catawba College poll, which found that Cooper is ahead of Whatley by about 14 points among likely voters. You can read much more about the polling and both candidates in this story that was just posted at WRAL.com.
Megan, thank you. Holiday travelers are feeling it at the pump as Easter and spring break really wraps up here. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey shares the difference in prices from month to month.
On average, North Carolina drivers are paying about $1.15 more per gallon this month compared to last. So gas here on Kildare Farm Road is $4.05 a gallon. This is just above the national average. The soaring cost of crude oil is causing the prices you pay at the pump to go up. On Monday, U.S. crude oil went up above $100 per barrel for the first time since 2022. That was back when Russia invaded Ukraine. And Brent crude oil is set to see its highest one-month increase on record. This comes as the war in Iran continues to escalate. We spoke with drivers about how the higher prices are hitting their pockets.
In my Jeep, I used to fill up for like $42 to fill up. The other day, 2 days ago, $65. $65, that's like a $20 increase.
Now, there are a few ways that you may be able to find just a little bit of savings, like at gas stations like this one on Kildare Farm Road in Cary. You can actually pay a few less cents per gallon if you pay in cash instead of using your card. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Cary.
So with the rising price of gas not slowing down, some car dealers are seeing rising interest in electric vehicles. This spark comes after electric vehicle sales were on the decline. But combining uncertainty and sales experts saying drivers are simply doing the math, interests are on the way up.
Mainly on people that already have SUVs where their leases are coming up. They're now considering EV plug-ins and hybrids just to get the extra mileage. A lot of people are getting solar right now, and then they're getting the EV, and then their solar is just basically giving them free gas.
So don't forget, you can use the fuel tracker on the WRAL News app to find the lowest cost of gas wherever you go. Just search fuel. In less than 100 days now, Americans will mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Cities across the country are planning big 4th of July celebrations. Jen Sullivan digs into the travel stats to see where people are going and the deals that you can score.
From sea to shining sea, cities coast to coast are planning special celebrations to mark America 250 this July 4th.
It's really a once-in-a-generation opportunity to celebrate our country all together at one time.
Melanie Fish is a travel expert with Expedia. She says they've noticed a surge in people researching trips to areas home to famous parks that showcase the country's natural beauty.
You can use the 250th as an excuse to explore a part of the country that you've just never seen before.
Expedia's data shows the biggest jump in searches is for Billings, Montana, one of the entryways to Yellowstone Park, followed by Lake Tahoe, California, home to the Sierra Nevada peaks, and Asheville, North Carolina, near the Blue Ridge Mountains and Great Smoky Mountains. It's not just places of beauty that travelers are researching. Fish says cities with rich historic significance are trending as well, and some are destinations you may not typically think to visit. Expedia found travelers are really interested in spots like Birmingham, Alabama, where some of the most pivotal protests of the civil rights movement took place. Cherokee, Oklahoma, where travelers can visit heritage sites to learn about the Trail of Tears, where thousands of Native Americans were forced to migrate west. St. Louis, Missouri, the gateway to the west that sits along the mighty Mississippi River.
America's a big place, so if you're not sure where you want to go, look at flight deals. Set your home airport, and you can see where are flights trending for certain dates at well below what's normally expected.
For those who want to rent an RV, Fish recommends crunching the costs. It may be cheaper to fly to your destination and then rent an RV once you've arrived. She says the site RV Share allows you to book a one-way rental.
And that was Jen Sullivan reporting. Tonight is the first of 2 Carolina Hurricanes games and part of Hockey for the Holidays. You can watch the games for free over the air on WRAL tonight. The Canes will play the Columbus Blue Jackets. Puck drops at 7 p.m. at Lenovo Center. The Canes are in first place in the Metro Division and tied for the most points in the Eastern Conference. Just 8 games remain in the regular season before Carolina hopes to start a Stanley Cup run. And Game 2 of Hockey for the Holidays is on Saturday night against the New York Islanders. That game starts at 7 p.m. It's definitely going to be Gulf weather on Good Friday, but by Easter Sunday, we could see a good chance for some showers and storms as we're taking a live look over Southern Pines. We're 10 minutes away from WRAL's Grant Skinner's holiday weekend forecast. And our team is working to bring you exclusive stories for coverage you'll find only on WRAL. Visit WRAL.com and search only. Saving requires time and dedication, but for many Americans, saving is becoming almost impossible, especially as the cost of living keeps increasing. A recent survey found 37% of people have less than $500 in cash savings. The data showed that 1 in 5 people say they aren't able to save consistently, especially those who make less than $30,000 a year. 34% say the main reason they can't save more is the cost of living. Amazon is temporarily increasing its prime fuel discount to help offset rising gas prices. Starting tomorrow, members can get 20 cents off a gallon through the free Earnify app. The discount is good at participating BP, Amoco, and AM/PM gas stations nationwide. For family prime accounts, the discount can be shared with one other household member over 18. The offer runs through May 29th, and details can be found on Amazon's website. We have a heads up for parents now. The USDA says certain packages of these dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets could contain lead. It's for the Walmart Great Value products. Their production date is February 10th, and their best buy date is February 10th, 2027. The 29-ounce bags contain about 36 nuggets and were shipped to Walmart nationwide. Finding hope through therapy. A little girl diagnosed with autism suddenly stopped talking. That's when therapists stepped in to help. How one expert helped her regain her voice and build independence. And making the rounds, the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour is making its way across North America, while former champions see the Trophy Tour as more than a publicity stunt.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're getting more reaction to that breaking news we first brought you moments ago. The state Supreme Court throwing out a multi-billion-dollar plan to improve North Carolina public schools. We're still working to get reaction from Democratic lawmakers. We showed you that statement from House Speaker Destin Hall. But let me show you this statement here from the president of Wake Ed Partnership, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting Wake County public schools. It says, quote, "Today's North Carolina Supreme Court decision in the Leandro case is disappointing but not surprising. The court did not determine whether North Carolina is meeting its constitutional obligation to provide every child with the opportunity for sound basic education. Instead, it ruled on procedural grounds and stepped back from enforcing a solution." Also, this is, again, Keith.
As we wrap things up here, let's take a look at a few of the headlines that we are following today. A big blow to a multi-billion-dollar plan to improve North Carolina's public schools. The North Carolina Supreme Court threw out the plan. The 244-page ruling invalidates most of the last decades of work in the long-running lawsuit known as Leandro. Hope County Board of Education versus the state of North Carolina was initially filed in 1994 and accuses the state of not providing an adequate education to the state's more than 1 million students. Parties reached an agreement in 2021 to increase special education funding, teacher pay, and more. The court threw out that plan. 18 months after Hurricane Helene devastated western North Carolina, the state has rebuilt 30 homes. Work is in progress on 140 more. This morning, 2 of Governor Josh Stein's top Helene advisors testified at the state legislature. You can look for more on this story in our NC Capital section of WRAL.com. Happening tonight, you can watch the first of 2 Carolina Hurricanes games on WRAL. It's part of Hockey for the Holidays. The Canes will play the Columbus Blue Jackets. Puck drops at 7 p.m. at Lenovo Center. And Game 2 is Saturday against the New York Islanders. You can count on WRAL for live coverage before and after both games. Consider yourself warned. Our pets of the day from the SPCA of Wake County are ready to wiggle their way into your heart and home. Meet Cicada and Mantis. Look how cute! Cicada is the black one. These 9-week-old sisters are cute and cuddly now, but will reach 65 to 80 pounds when full grown. They are not bounded and bonded and do not have to be adopted together, but they do get along very well. They love playtime, cuddles, and puppy kisses. The adoption fee is $325 each, which includes spay surgery, microchip, vaccines, and other wellness care. You can contact the SPCA of Wake County if you're looking for 2 new buddies. Coming up on WRAL News at 4 now, a dangerous trend sending kids to the ER and the unintentional injuries that are the leading cause of death among children through age 17. That's today on WRAL News at 4. An NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update comes in about 30 minutes. And you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. We hope you have a great Thursday.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.